Hi friends, today we'll talk about a very interesting thing, that is friends, are you a Rahu-driven person? If you're a Rahu-driven person, then should you get married to somebody who is also a Rahu-driven person? Now, what do you mean by Rahu-driven person? That is, if you have Rahu either in the first house or fifth house or ninth house, or if your Rahu, the planet Rahu in your chart, is strongly connected to your ascendant lord or fifth lord or ninth lord. Okay, so these three houses, the first, fifth and ninth, they are the trine, dharma trine houses. They actually shape your nature. Okay, and the lords of these three houses, they are the principal driving forces in your life. Say if you're a Virgo ascendant, you have 6, 10 and 2. These zodiac signs you will have in the dharma trine houses. Okay, Virgo, Capricorn and Taurus. So you will be largely driven by the planets Mercury, Saturn and Venus respectively. So these planets will drive you because they are in the dharma trine houses, or they are the lords of the dharma trine houses 1, 5, 9 respectively. Okay, they will drive you, they will shape your nature, personality, even character. Okay, your inclinations, everything, your motives, your principles, philosophy in life. Now, so friends, these three houses are so very important. They are intimately connected to your soul, to your personality. Now, if Rahu is connected strongly to any of these three houses, okay, then we can say that the person is Rahu-driven. Alright. Now, if Rahu is well posited, that is, say if Rahu is in Virgo, if Rahu is in Virgo and if Mercury's position is also good in the chart, then we can say that Rahu's placement is very powerful, and Rahu can give you a lot of expansion, growth in life, because Rahu's dispositor Mercury is well posited. Okay, so Rahu usually is believed to be strong in Virgo. It is believed to be strong in Aquarius. Okay, in Aquarius it's believed to be strong, and also it's believed that Rahu does very well in Gemini. Again, if Mercury is well placed. Alright, so friends, no matter in whichever sign you have Rahu, even if you have Rahu in Cancer, then look at Moon's placement in the chart, how it is placed, because Rahu will now magnify the significations of even the Moon, wherever Moon is placed. So Rahu tends to magnify, because now it is in a sign Cancer, which is ruled by Moon. So your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions now, if they are if Moon is in good dignity, then by dint of your intuition and thought process, ideas, emotions, you can do very well. So you have to look at Rahu's dispositor. So in whichever sign it is sitting, whether the sign lord is in good dignity. Dignity means the sign lord should not be under any malefic influence or should not be afflicted in the chart. If the sign lord, say in this case I told you that Moon is Rahu's dispositor, if Rahu is in Cancer, then where is Moon sitting in your chart? Okay, if it is sitting in the 12th or 8th house, then are you using that energy of 12th house or 8th house positively? Okay, if you're using that energy, fine. Otherwise, definitely there will be you will feel lonely, ups and downs. Your mind will you may feel detached from people. You may go into depression if you're using the energy of 12th house or 8th house. These houses are connected to occult field, to research, to mysterious hidden knowledge, okay, to mystical knowledge. These houses are connected to meditation, yoga, going inwards, self-realization, okay, spiritual practices. So if any of these, or even foreign travel, foreign places, these houses are connected to all of that. Okay, in-depth investigation. So if you are connected to all that, any of that, then it will be good. Otherwise you may even go into depression. So you have to see what you are actually doing in life. That is very important. Are you what situation you are in, that is very important. Your circumstances and how you are dealing with life circumstances, that is very important. That is why every individual is unique, and every individual chart, birth chart, is also unique. Okay, so friends, now that is how you look at, you decide whether Rahu is strong or weak, or whether Rahu is powerful. It could give you good results, or whether Rahu is very malefic. So that is how you will decide. Okay, now, so if Rahu is intimately connected to any of the dharma trine houses, that is 1, 5 or 9, then definitely, friends, we can say that that person will be a Rahu-driven person. You will be largely driven by Rahu. Driven by Rahu in the sense that you could have a lot of hunger for money, power, good looks, anything. You could be, a person could have a lot of hunger. Okay, they could be even very ambitious. They could be lustful also. They could be greedy. Then again, these things will happen. If Rahu is not so well placed, then your greed and endless hunger can make you land in trouble. But if Rahu is more or less well placed, or if along with age after 35, 40, if you are, somehow, you are able to come out of any sort of, supposing Rahu can give you even addiction, a lot of endless desires. So along with maturity in age, if you are able to come out of that gradually, if you're able to move towards self-realization, if you're able to move towards, so maybe you're in quest of some hidden knowledge and all, then maybe you will get good results. You will get good results actually. So along with age, usually after 42, people tend to mature. After 40 onwards, they tend to mature. And along with maturity, then Rahu, Rahu usually causes illusion. Illusion in the in initial phases of life, it will cause illusion. It can confuse you. It can make you run after things which are unreal. These things can happen. Okay, but along with age, maturity comes in. So that is why a Rahu-driven person, it's always better if they marry at an age where they have already, matured to some extent. So they should actually ideally get married after 35 or at least after 33. They should not get married very early of one who is Rahu-driven. Because a Rahu-driven person, when Rahu is connected to the 1st, 5th or 9th house, if Rahu is in average dignity, then it can make a person very skeptical also. Very skeptical. They could be in the habit of doubting people. They could even be pessimistic. They could be very unrealistic. They could question all traditions, norms of society. They could be rule breakers, idol breakers, and they can also be non-conformists, obviously, and they can even break laws. They could be antisocial. So all these problems. Okay, they could be into illicit relationships. They could have all sorts of illicit desires and tendencies. These things can happen. But along with age, and maturity, people tend to realize the futility of these things, and they tend to come out of these influences, and they tend to move towards seeking knowledge. Okay, so maybe some hidden knowledge, mystical knowledge, or maybe they tend to move towards they realize that these things are meaningless, and later on they may even get the opportunity to move to a foreign place maybe. So then situation will definitely improve. Okay, so ideally a Rahu driven person should get married after the age of 30. whether male or female, so that some level of maturity is there. Okay, then also, should a Rahu driven person get married to a Rahu driven person, another Rahu driven person? Now I have seen in certain charts that yes, if somebody is Rahu driven, they get married to another person, they are also Rahu driven, that is Rahu is connected to any of the dharma trine houses, then the marriage might work. I have seen in certain charts. Okay, and that's also what most astrologers think, that yeah, a Rahu driven person or a person who is dominated by Rahu should also marry somebody who is under Rahu's influence. Then they both of them, their natures, because there could be similarity in their nature, basic nature, so they would be in a better position to understand each other, understand each other's needs, desires, because both of them they are kind of driven by Rahu. So yeah, they could have a tendency to go against tradition and all, go against even society. So yeah, they could complement each other to some extent. They could have very unconventional thoughts, and the other person will be able to relate to you because they themselves are of that nature. So that argument or logic you can use and say that yes, no doubt. But again, I have seen friends, suppose you're a Rahu driven person, but if your 7th lord is connected to Rahu, then there could be problems in the marriage. Okay, 7th lord is connected to your relationship. So when that lord, 7th lord, has connection with Rahu, then definitely you could be into multiple relationships, you could run after multiple partners, you could deceive your partner, or your partner can deceive you, because 7th lord is with Rahu, so even your partner can deceive you. Okay, so in that case I have seen that the marriage may not work. So especially when the 7th lord or 7th house has connection with Rahu in the chart, in the birth chart, then even if you get married to a 7th lord or Venus, when Venus has a very strong conjunction with Rahu, then the marriage may not work. Venus has strong conjunction with Rahu, and maybe the 7th lord is also afflicted somehow, then the marriage may not work. Even if you get married to another Rahu driven person, this can happen. Okay, especially if Venus Rahu are in signs which are like, say Venus Rahu may not work if Rahu is in signs that are inimical, signs the lords of which are inimical to Rahu. For example, say if Rahu is in Cancer, then the person's and Venus and Rahu, say there is conjunction or combination, Rahu is in Cancer, the person's emotionally the person may be very unstable, because Cancer sign shows that the person could be in a state of flux with respect to their emotions, always fluctuating emotions, a lot of instability in their emotions. So yeah, there is a likelihood that it may not survive the relationship. Okay, so like that. So yeah, even Rahu in Leo, now Sun is Rahu's enemy, and how is Sun placed in the chart, that also you should see. Okay, so yeah, now if Rahu is well placed even with Venus, and if the 7th lord is 7th house or 7th lord is not afflicted, then it might work. So you should actually look at the 7th lord and 7th house more than Venus. Look at the 7th house and 7th lord. They should not be afflicted in any way by Ketu, okay, or by Saturn. They should not be afflicted. Okay, then the marriage can work. So there are so many things which you have to look at when you want to find out whether this marriage is going to work or not, whether this person is a Rahu driven person, if they are getting married to another Rahu driven person, so whether the marriage is going to survive or not. So these things you can predict by looking at the 7th lord, 7th house, and looking at the dasha, which planet dasha they are running. Okay, if they are running the dasha of a certain planet which is signifying 7th house, 8th house, 12th house, then definitely you can predict that the marriage may not work. So look at the dasha of the planet which that native is also running. So then you can predict whether this person is a Rahu-driven person, they are getting married to another Rahu-driven person, will it work or not? Okay. Now friends, at one level it seems that yes, somebody who is driven by Rahu, they are also very unconventional. Okay, they don't believe in following tradition blindly, they question everything and they're very analytical. So if they get married to somebody who is similar in nature, then they would be able to get along well. At one level this is something we may think like that, but at another level I would say that it is not always the case, because if one person is driven by Rahu, say they have endless hunger, they have endless desires, ambition, okay, the other person, their life partner, is also driven by Rahu, and if Rahu is very strong in their chart and they are also driven by endless desires, hunger and ambition, then do you think it will be a good match? Not really. I don't think so. Because if one person has endless desires and hunger, the other person should actually be there to look after the house. The other person should actually, or this person with endless desire and a strong Rahu should have a partner who is traditional actually. So that partner, if that partner is Ketu driven by Ketu, and Ketu is benefic in their partner's chart, in that Ketu's dispositor is placed in the 9th house or in the 5th house, and that person is spiritual or religious, then I think that would be a better match. So one person is chasing their ambition, they have endless desire for gaining money, position, power. They are so materialistic because they are driven by a very powerful Rahu, and they are all running only after materialistic things. If the partner is also same, then it could be a mismatch actually. The partner, in order for the partner to complement the person, the partner should rather be Ketu driven. The partner should have that maturity, that in-depth understanding and maturity to know that yes, my partner or my person is chasing their target, their goals in life. They are very materialistic, but I am not materialistic. I am religious, I am spiritual. Okay, my partner is very expressive. They tend to express themselves a lot. I mean, even a small thing, they would express that in a big way. Okay, they would they would raise a hue and cry even for little things, and they would say out of nothing also they could be worried, even a small thing which is affecting their personal life, that could become a very big deal for them. Because when a person is Rahu driven, they tend to become very self-centered also, very self-centered, even selfish. Okay, then if the partner is also same, do you think the marriage will work? Each of them will go their separate ways. And do you think they will be able to make a beautiful home? Do you think that in that they'll be able to create a beautiful life for themselves, or they would be able to raise a child together with patience and sacrifice? No, because both of them are chasing their respective ambition. So that would not be a good match actually. So I think that when somebody is totally Rahu driven, totally self-centric, and they're focusing on their life and on their goals, and they're very materialistic. They should have a partner who is, relaxed, who is detached from material things, and who is not hungry at all for these things. Rather, they want peace of mind. They want peace in the house. They want to engage themselves in some spiritual or religious practice. Okay? So they know that their person is so very ambitious, but they would just, they have that maturity that they would, just smile at what their person is chasing. They would just smile at their endeavors, at their person's endeavors, and they would, just smile, and they would be very, they would just get on with life and accept things as they are. That, okay, even if my partner is so very materialistic, that is their nature. I mean, what can be done? So they would be very accommodative and very mature, because they would be very wise. When Ketu is well placed in the chart, it gives you wisdom. Okay, it blesses you with wisdom, and you become very wise. You have a very balanced personality and a very good sense of judgment, and you will just get on with your life, and you will be busy with your own spiritual practices, religious practices. Okay, so that could be a very good combination. Actually, that could be a very good match. These two people, one is Rahu-driven, one is Ketu-driven. They will now complement each other, and they could really make a beautiful home, and they could lead a beautiful married life also. Because now the partner will understand you, and because the partner is so very relaxed, so very wise, full of wisdom. You want space for yourself, like if somebody is Rahu-driven, they want space for themselves, they want to grow, and and a Ketu-driven person will, if Ketu is really well placed, say in Pisces, and Jupiter is also well placed, or in Sagittarius, again Jupiter is well placed in the chart, they'll be very wise. Even if Ketu is in Capricorn and Saturn is very well placed in the chart, then they would be very accommodative and understanding. So that would also make a very good match. Okay, unless Ketu is connected to 7th Lord. If Ketu is connected to 7th Lord also in that person's chart, then there could be a problem. Then they could even let go of the relationship, or they could feel they would be detached, physically detached from the partner, because they would be so busy in their spiritual religious practices. They would think that, let my partner be. My partner is so materialistic, I can't connect. So then detachment from the partner. So 7th Lord should not be connected to Ketu. Otherwise, a Rahu-driven person, strong Rahu in one of the Dharma-trine houses, and again if that person's life partner is a Ketu-driven person, Ketu is either in the 1st house, 5th house, or 9th house, or the ascendant Lord, or Moon, or Jupiter. Remember these 3 planets: ascendant Lord, Moon, or Jupiter, or for that matter even Sun. So if these planets have very strong connection with Ketu, okay, then it will be and Ketu is well placed in the chart, the Ketu's dispositor is well placed, then it could be a very good marriage. Actually, a Rahu-driven and Ketu-driven person, they could complement each other, because that person who is Rahu-driven, they want to be at the receiving end. They are hungry, all the time. They have endless hunger. They want to be at the receiving end. They want to receive everything. Okay, even from their life partner. Okay, and a Ketu-driven person would be at the giving end. They would be able to give. They would be able to sacrifice for their person. So yes, I mean, they would then complement each other. Okay, so that's what I feel. And also, friends, you think that Darakaraka concept itself, is it not all about balance? It is about balance. Okay, balancing even opposing energies. That is what even Darakaraka concept is all about. How? Because Atmakaraka is the planet which is at the highest degrees in your chart. Say in your chart, Sun is Atmakaraka. Say in your chart, forgive me, Venus is Atmakaraka. Say Venus. Okay? Venus is your Atmakarak. So you actually are somebody, you want to be happy in life. You want to make yourself happy, because Venus is connected to happiness, to joy, to pleasure, to comforts, even to relationship. So these things will be very important for you, because Venus is at the highest degrees. From your past lives, Venus has been so very active. You have had a strong Venus. That is why Venus has traveled, and now it is at the highest degrees. So you are very much, you have been through Venus's, you have experienced Venus's significations in your life. And that is why it is your Atmakaraka. It is at the highest degrees in your birth chart. And this planet, you are naturally able to connect with the planet Venus if it is your Atmakaraka. You will naturally be blessed with an attractive personality, very pleasant speech. You don't have to make efforts. You could be good looking. Okay, your speech will be very good. Okay, you will know how to deal with people of the opposite gender. Okay, you will love to make friends. You will believe in spreading joy, happiness wherever you go. You will believe in leading a comfortable life. These things will come so naturally to you. Why? Because Venus is your Atmakaraka. It is the significator of your soul now. Okay? Now, if Venus is your Atmakaraka, then look at your Darakaraka. Darakaraka is the planet which is at the lowest degrees in your birth chart. Say in your birth chart, Sun is Darakaraka. Sun is at the lowest degrees. Say at 0 degree or 1 degree, Sun is at the lowest degree in your chart. That means in this lifetime, Sun is somewhat, because the degree is so low, so it is somewhat weak in a way, or in that area, the Sun has certain significations. Okay, so in those areas you need to work in this lifetime. Means that is why your Darakaraka or spouse significator is Sun, because there is some, that Sun energy is somehow, there is some lack, because Sun is at such a low degree. So Sun energy, unless Sun is with a planet which is now unless Sun is very strongly placed and Sun's dispositor is very strongly placed, and Sun is in the Pushkar Navmansh or Pushkar Navamsha, Sun is Vargottam, and Sun is very powerful. It is at a very low degree but very powerful. Then definitely you will experience a Sun energy. Sun energy means you will be self-confident. Okay, you will be a knowledge seeker. All right, Sun, you will be a giver. You will be generous. So all these qualities you will have. Only if Sun is very powerful, other things you have to see. Otherwise, if Sun is very weak, it is at the lowest degrees, then you need to work, with the significations of Sun. That means you need to develop your self-confidence. Sun is at the lowest degrees. You need to develop your self-confidence. You know you have abilities, you have talents, knowledge, but somehow that you are lacking in self-confidence. Okay? You need to be spiritual also. Because Venus is Atmakarak, so you are a pleasure seeker. So what you need to do is you need to believe in spirituality. You need to believe in generosity. Okay, so all these things. Sun is Lord of the 5th house. natural lord of the 5th house, where you have the Leo sign. Okay, so Sun, 5th house is the house of happiness, joy also, and knowledge also. So Sun signifies all of that. Okay, so you need to be self-satisfied. You need to believe in undertaking a soul journey and all that. You need to believe in spirituality. That is why your Darakaraka is Sun, so you will find your partner now will have a very strong Sun in their chart. So that when they come into your life, that Sun energy which was you were lacking in the Sun energy in some way, now that lack will be fulfilled by your partner. And both of you together will be able to lead a very balanced life. Because now if your partner's Sun is very strong, then at times you were not confident about things, lack of self-confidence. Your partner, if Sun is well placed, your partner will be very self-confident. In fact, your partner will, encourage you, motivate you. Because they are so positive-minded, so very self-confident. So you see, your partner will give you that courage to move on with your ideas, thoughts, with your work. So your partner will motivate you, encourage you. They will instill self-confidence in you. And your partner may also take you towards spirituality later on. Because you are a Venus Atmakaraka person, so you love to, enjoy life, and you want to be happy. You want to see people around you also happy if Venus is well placed. Okay, so your partner will teach you another lesson, that it is good to chase pleasures and comforts in life, but we also need to move towards self-realization, spirituality. That will give you ultimate happiness, and that will give you ultimate peace of mind. That's what your partner who has Sun as important planet in their chart, that's what they are coming to teach you in this lifetime. So that is why the planet which is at the lowest degrees in your chart, Sun, so that planet becomes the significator of your spouse, and your spouse or life partner will have a very strong Sun. So that you are lacking in that area, or in those areas or significations which are connected to Sun, you are lacking in them in some way. Okay, if Sun is not so well placed and lowest degrees, now your partner will come, and that lack which you had, they will fulfill that lack, that gap will be fulfilled by them. So they will complement you. And so don't you think so, friends? I mean, that is why the planet which is at the lowest degrees is your Darakaraka, and you are weak in those significations of that planet, and so you will get a partner who is strong in those significations of the planet, because in their chart Sun is a very strong planet. And if Sun is well placed in their chart, then they'll be so righteous. They will even believe in spiritual practices. Okay, they will be very generous, because Sun is a king. Yes, the Leo sign is the sign of the king, and Sun is the king actually. Yes, so so that is why they will be very generous. They will be very, you can say, they'll be a giver. They will believe in, doing things which give them spiritual joy. So that is why I feel that a person who is Rahu driven, and Rahu is making them very materialistic, giving them endless hunger and desire, if they get married to a similar person who is also a slave to their desires, who also has a very strong Rahu, that is even making them very impatient, they are so hungry for material things in life, then I don't think that will be a very good match. Especially if in any of the charts Rahu is connected to the 7th house or 7th lord, then it will never be a good match if Rahu driven person gets married to another Rahu driven person. Okay, again, a Rahu driven person should ideally get married to a Ketu driven person, provided Ketu is well placed in the chart. If Ketu is not well placed, then their marriage also can end in divorce. You say if Ketu is connected to 7th house and Ketu is not well placed, then also it can end in divorce. Otherwise, the ideal match will be a Rahu-driven person gets married to a Ketu-driven person, and Ketu is a benefic in the chart. So one person is materialistic, the other person is spiritual, and so these two extremes will be balanced. And if they have a child also, that they will be able to raise the child also in a beautiful way. Okay, one person will teach the child that it is important to chase your goals, and materialistic pursuits are very important in life. The other person, the other partner will teach the child that you need to also be generous, kind, compassionate. Okay, you need to be patient, so you need to be wise. So all these things, you need to be traditional. So then I think the marital life would be blissful. Okay, so that's what I think actually, friends. Now definitely I will show you certain charts where I will show you that a Rahu-driven person got married to another Rahu-driven person, and somehow the marriage was successful. That I am going to show you, and again I will show you another chart where a Rahu-driven person got married to a Ketu-driven person, but I think 7th house was somehow connected, and so the marriage didn't work. So I'll show you with the help of example charts, friends. So kindly have a look at the screen. Okay, friends, so just kindly have a look at the screen. I will show you the charts of a couple, wife and husband. This is the chart of the female native or wife. Sorry, I'm so sorry. This is the chart of the husband, the male native. So in the chart of this male native, friends, you see so their marriage actually has ended in divorce. So this is the chart of the male native. I'll show you the chart of his wife also in a while. So in this male native's chart, the husband's chart, you see that you can see that Sun is the 7th lord. Yes, Sun is the 7th lord. The 7th lord is in the sign of Scorpio, here in the 10th house. Now Sun and 7th lord has a conjunction with Rahu, because in Bhrigunandinari astrology every planet has trinal aspect. Okay, so Sun is casting 5th aspect on Rahu, and Rahu's 9th aspect is on Sun. So this is a conjunction as per Bhrigunandinari Jyotish. So Sun Rahu combination is there in this chart. So 7th lord has combination with Rahu, and also this person, I should say, is actually largely Rahu driven. Why? Because Jupiter and Rahu, they are in conjunction. Here you can see in the 2nd house, retrograde Jupiter is in strong conjunction with Rahu. This conjunction is becoming strong because Jupiter is retrograde. So this conjunction is actually becoming very strong with Rahu in the second house. So when you have Jupiter Rahu, then definitely you can say that the person is Rahu driven. So he's a Rahu driven person. Okay. So now he's a Rahu driven person, and Rahu also has connection with the 7th lord. Alright. Also in the 8th house you have Ketu. The 8th house is the house of marital life. There also you have Ketu, this planet of separation, in the house of marital life. Okay. So his marriage did not work. He's a Rahu driven person. Now I will take you to his wife's chart. So his wife, this is his wife's chart. Okay, she is a Ketu driven person, because in the 1st house or Lagna or ascendant you have Ketu, and Jupiter is also with Ketu. So, okay, Jupiter is also with Ketu, so she is largely a Ketu driven person. Okay, she is driven by Ketu. Now their marriage did not work and it ended in divorce. Okay, also because you see Ketu, I told you that Ketu has to be a benefic and it has to be well placed in the chart. Here Ketu is with Jupiter, no doubt, but look at Ketu's dispositor. Ketu's dispositor is not well placed in the chart. Okay, Ketu's dispositor has gone to the 6th house of conflicts, quarrels and problems and obstacles. Ketu's dispositor has gone, Ketu's dispositor is moon, because Ketu is in Cancer. It has gone to the 6th house, where again moon is getting afflicted because it is with its inimical planet Saturn. Moon is with Saturn. Moon-Saturn combination is not considered to be good. Okay, and Ketu's dispositor is in the 6th house, is not well placed. Okay, so that is why, you know, this native actually, Ketu's dispositor has gone to the 6th house of conflicts, and Jupiter is also the significator of the husband. Okay, in Parashari Jyotish, Jupiter is the significator of husband. Now Jupiter is with Ketu, and Ketu's dispositor has gone to the 6th house. So always quarrels with the husband, conflicts and quarrels and problems with the husband. Okay, and also you see in the 7th house you have Rahu, and Rahu's dispositor also not well placed. Okay, so again Rahu in the 7th house is showing that her partner is largely a Rahu-driven person. I've shown you his chart. Just now I showed you his chart. So he is a largely Rahu-driven person. So in the 7th house there is Rahu. She is a Ketu-driven person, but Ketu is not so well placed. Okay, and also I showed you that in the husband's chart also, Rahu is with Jupiter. Rahu is with Jupiter, and this person, the husband's nature, I will quickly take you to the husband's chart again. The husband is also somebody he is not a man of good character. Okay, I'll show you the husband's chart again. So he's not a man of good character. Okay, so you see very Jupiter, because it is retrograde in the 2nd house, a very strong conjunction with Rahu. Okay, so this person actually he used to torture his wife a lot, and yeah. So this person definitely, you know, she also, her Ketu was also not that strong, and this person also, you know, though Rahu is with Jupiter, I told you here, and he has not absorbed Rahu's significations in any way in his life. He is living in his birthplace only. He has not gone to any foreign place. Okay, he is not into any mystical or secretive knowledge also. He is not into any technology or research also. So he has not used Rahu's significations in any positive way in his life. So this is actually a malefic Rahu with Jupiter. Okay, so this person got married to that lady. I've shown you her, you know, her chart. She's Ketu driven, but Ketu is also not that strong in her chart. And this person also, here Rahu is with Jupiter, and finally, you know, their marriage did not work, and also the 7th lord is being afflicted by Rahu in this person's chart. So the marriage ended in divorce. So friends, you know, the marriage can work if the person is Rahu driven, and Rahu is well placed, and Rahu's dispositor is well placed, and they are actually absorbing Rahu's energy in a positive way in their life. Then the person can be materialistic, but everybody wants to become successful, and everybody wants, you know, people generally want to be rich in life. There is nothing wrong about that. But if you are somebody who is whose character is dubious, and you want to cheat on others and gain in life, that is problematic. Okay, so yeah, that will create a problem. And then this person, you know, this Rahu driven person got married to that Ketu driven lady, and their marriage did not work. Okay friends, so let me know what you think about you know your birth chart, and if you have any comments, let me know about your position of Rahu or Ketu in your chart, or in your spouse's chart. So also friends, if you really want to be blessed with a happy married life, then definitely you should believe in charity. You should be kind and you know, compassionate to the physically or mentally challenged, to the poor, to the downtrodden. You should be kind to them. Be kind to animals and all creatures. Okay, believe in charity, and you will be blessed with and seek divine blessings, okay, so that you can absorb the energies of Rahu or Ketu, in a positive way in your life, okay, and you can then be able to move towards a happy marital life. So that's all for today, friends. Thank you so much. If you want personal consultation, details are there in the video description. Take care, friends. See you next time.